that motion, and then you don't really think about it, and you do it for 8 hours. And that's like having a job. That's why I like, humans are so good for labor. There's a lot of people that think that our planet is like a slave labor planet.
I don't need a fork. Sometimes you just need a fork.
That they bred us especially to be slaves. And we're stupid and we are hardworking. And we'll pretty much give the man, all the best years of our life.
Well, we do.
And
I don't see that there's anything factually wrong with that assessment.
And we don't ask very much in return. Just a few baubles, bits and bobs.
Yeah, but there's a lot of responsibility with being a knowledgeable person. You can't go back once you know the truth.
Well, there's certain drugs you can run the time.
I guess.
Yeah, there are certain drugs. That's why they give us certain drugs. That's why they give all the killers and stuff. They give them, drugs to where they can kill and they don't think about it. It's
adding 3 tablespoons of oil. And then I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of honey, or you could use sugar, maple syrup, or some other kind of sweetener. The thing is, you don't want it to be too sweet. Now, if you're making sweet cornbread like from the north, you might want to add a lot more sugar or sweetener. And that's about 3. Okay. And just going to mix that together.
What is those weird bubble looking things?
That's just from the eggs, the protein in the eggs, whipping up with everything else. Okay, I'm done with this and this.
That is creepy looking. Looks like little amoebas.
Well, they ain't amoebas.
I think they're spraying, like they tried back in the 90s to try just spraying blood on us and to see if we would get sick.
Just to spray blood?
Yeah, like bad blood.
Oh, yeah. That's infected with something.
Yeah, because they could make it into powders and it would just I think they might even figured out how to make it grow so that the blood cells were reproducing.
Yeah, that's sick.
And well, it goes farther if you can make it do that. And then they was spraying it on people in India to see if they would get all these diseases, but it didn't work.
Yeah,
but it was a good try. But it didn't make people sick.
So I'm going to add just about 2 cups of flour. Or that's actually, excuse me, this is not flour. This is cornmeal. This is different than corn flour, which is the masa harina we use for the tortillas. But this is just yellowed cornmeal. You can use different kinds, stone ground, different sizes. It's somewhere between the corn flour and the grits in consistency. So we got some cornmeal here, and I need to add.
So it's just like a less ground up than flour and more ground up than grits.
Yes. Exactly. See, you're starting to understand.
Well, I'm physics. See, I'm trying to learn physics because I went through the I don't believe in gravity phase, and now I'm really thinking more about the giant astrophysical physics and also the quantum physics, which I don't really believe in. It's kind of like gravity. I agree with Albert Einstein's sort of point of view that it really isn't good enough to not be able to measure and
my spoons had fallen down.
Be able to at least say that a reality exists. That it's just bullshit to say, well, it's all blurry.
Okay, so I'm going to add some salt.
But I don't understand it yet, so I have to learn.
About a teaspoon of that. And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of baking powder.
What the heck is baking powder?
It's
Is that a teaspoon or a tablespoon?
This is a teaspoon.
It's a heaping teaspoon.
Yeah, well, I like mine to rise. Okay.
That's something chemical.
It's monosodium phosphate bicarbonate of soda and cornstarch from non-genetically modified corn. See, it's reacting with the egg and the water. It's a rising agent. And then I've got my baking soda, which I'm going to add half a teaspoon of that. And then I'm just going to mix everything up.
It's weird.
It's going to come together into a nice wet dough, kind of like cake mix. Or just cake. Batter. I guess it would be a batter. And you just want to stir it till it's smooth. So we was talking earlier about that Virginia Tech thing.
Oh, yeah.
And we have figured this out. Why
Yeah.
don't you tell them our revelation while I finish this up?
It was most likely a MK Ultra Spook Black Op.
I'm going to add just a little bit of pepper.
We pretty much doubt that. Well, I really don't know how to put it. I guess there's just some bits of the story that don't hold together, don't sound like reality.
Right.
And so we figured they're telling a different story than the story that is in the press.
Well, probably so.
These kind of shootings happen every so often, and they're just a little suspicious. School shootings. Some of them I think are real. They're just some kid going crazy. But this one, I don't believe that's what happened because, for one thing, the guy had been incarcerated for a year in a mental hospital.
And you know the mental hospitals is nothing but fronts for MK Ultra and programming and mind control.
They get in there and for a year they programmed him, probably with this program, to either go berserk or become very somehow tied to the man. He had a handler, in other words, that could at any time activate a program to make him go berserk and kill people. It's called the Delta or whatever. If you're programmed to kill, then you have a certain kind of programming.
Right, and to up the horror of it, they make sure that your regular life program, you're usually an upstanding person that nobody would suspect of such a thing.
That's very true.
Yes.
So that's probably when they started the programming on him. And then they have to, they come to a time when, the economy's in the shitter.
Right. They need distractions for people to be worried about the state of the world so they'll be more readily able to give up their rights when the time comes.
And also to just have that constant state of fear, which apparently makes us trust the man more and believe in authority and follow rules.
You naturally want to follow a leader because it's dangerous to be on your own.
Yeah.
It's better to be in a group.
Yeah. So what they do is they just when it's convenient to the man, he activates one of these sleepers.
Yeah, that just goes off and then causes a random news distraction, which is good for covering up all kinds of sins with the economy and with the war and whatever else they need to cover up.
And get people buying stuff and eating more and having babies and stuff, doing all the life things. Places stressors. But I think they just came together with this story fairly recently because the writers came back off a strike.
Well, they
had to come up with this bullshit real fast, in 3 days.
Well, they messed it up. That's what got all of our suspicions is that what was it,
the laptop.
You read it, I didn't.
Yeah.
So what'd you read?
Well, like the day after, like it happened at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, which is when all good black ops go down because